Hello everyone, Seraphin here, welcome back for more Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. When I last left you guys, we just visited Hammer's shop and picked up a bunch of really cool new stuff. And now I have a katana, which makes me automatically more awesome than I ever was before. Because everyone knows katanas make you super cool. And if you disagree with that, I'm sorry to say that you're just wrong. Katanas are the best. I wish I had a katana. I don't. What was in there again? That little Une thing? Alright, free level, no problem. As I mentioned in the last episode, however, I do still want this Ghost Dancer soul. Now that I have this katana, it's going to be much easier to get. I say that as I get hit again. Get back here. Alright, well, can't have everything, I guess. We'll try a couple more times. If I don't get it the next couple tries, then I'll just leave. But, like I said, I really want it because that plus 4 luck is the best boost to that you get for a very long time. And that will substantially, I think, increase my chances of getting stuff. And I like getting stuff. Stuff is good. Generally speaking. Alright, once more with vigor. There it is! Came flying right at me. Ghost Dancer, luck increased by 4. So we're going to put that on. There we go. Perfect. And then I'll strike at... Wow, 2-hit kill on the white dragons now. That's good. I haven't gone this way yet, so let's go this direction this time. Funnily enough, there's actually more Ghost Dancers in here, so... That's okay. They have a decent experience point value too, I think. Don't quote me on that, but what's up here? Can I get all the way up here now? Not quite. Almost, but not quite. I don't know what kind of dance they're doing. Spoiler alert, not a big dancer. I'm sure that doesn't come as a shock to most of you, considering I'm sitting on my butt right now playing a video game on my computer, but that's beside the point. I'm not going to say everybody who does that can't dance, but I certainly can't. Hey, look, a free Skeleton Knight soul. Strength increased by 4. So that's another good alternative to have. This is a silk robe. Is that any better than what I'm currently wearing? I seriously doubt it. Alright, so this is a 6-point defense drop. However, it is a plus 5 intelligence increase. So if I were going for wanting to do a lot of spell slinging, that would be the thing to wear. And there's a hidden area up here. There's a big old bag of money in here. $1,000. Not bad. Not too shabby at all. So I'm going to say that plus 4 luck already paying off. Oh, I forgot about this guy. This is Quetzalcoatl. He's annoying. He kind of bounces around the room like this. And is very difficult to hit. He falls apart pretty quick, though. And that is, if you'll notice, that is where the Manticore was. Generally speaking, once you defeat a boss, something else spawns in its place. And you hit these Unis now that we have an arcing weapon. I don't know what those Unis do. I don't think it's anything spectacular. The little plant things. Tiny Devil Soul? No, I guess not. That's okay. Let's heal up real quick. I'm trying to remember where the next place I'm supposed to go is. You know, I probably should have just used the teleporter room to get back to the main part of the castle. But you know what? That's fine. We'll just hoof it. I can probably get some more souls along the way. Here's to hoping at any rate. Walk back up these stairs. Alright, that's getting a little annoying now. Out of my way. Swing and a double hit. Alright. There's a giant ghost here that I think dies in good maybe 2, maybe 3 hits now. There's 2. He's got a really neat soul too, actually. He's one of the few people that has a guardian soul, so a blue one. And it surrounds you in a really neat little protective shield. And it blocks, I think, most projectile attacks. Here we go, Ghost Soul. Summons a spirit that will fight evil. So it actually summons a little familiar that follows you around. I believe. Don't quote me. Actually, no, that doesn't make any sense because it's a red one, so it only works once. There are some guardian souls that summon familiars that will stick around behind you as long, or you don't even need to hold the button for those ones. you just press it, and it will drain the MP as long as the familiar is out. But they're nice to have, because they do some attacking on their own, they hit stuff. Is this where I want to be going? No, it is not. I'm going to go back up here. There's that death statue again, looking oddly creepy and ominous. I'm going to save again real quick. I don't have to, but I'm in the area, might as well. I wouldn't mind his rock armor soul either. Get up here. Ow! Double jump to hit this tiny spirit, and I get hit by a stupid arrow in the face. Just my luck. This is a good place to farm all 3 of those. I am very well accustomed to soul farming spots in this game because, well, I've done it. I have 100% soul collected this game a couple of times. It's a slog, I'll put it that way. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of luck and a lot of tedium. Especially for some of the ones that are not quite so easy to farm. Even when you have all the good equipment in the game, there are some monsters that are just still a big pain in the neck to try to farm because either they're not easily accessible. I got a cloth tunic from these zombies. Isn't that wonderful? That being said, there's a couple of monsters that, for example, they're in hard-to-reach areas, like they're not right on the edge of a room, so they're not easy to get to. Other ones that are hard to farm are ones that just have boatloads of health, and even when using their weakness and all that fun junk, they're still hard to kill. There's a few monsters like that. This is a killer doll, which is a little bit creepy. I'm not a fan of killer dolls myself. Never watched any of those Chucky movies, and I probably never will because that's just terrifying. I am not a fan of horror by any stretch of the imagination. Apologies, that makes me sound like a wuss to you guys. I kind of am, and you're just gonna have to deal with that. That being said, there are a couple of horror games that I really, really enjoy. I think the best example of that is Dead Space. For those of you who have not played that, that is a perfect combination, in my opinion, of horror and science fiction, a la the old Alien movies. Love those movies. And this is much the same concept, I'm willing to believe, because it's science fiction, so you're in a giant spaceship in the first one, and you're trying to figure out what the heck happened to everybody, and it turns out they were all brutally and viciously murdered by these alien creatures that reanimate corpses. Yeah, it's really fun. That being said, first time I played Dead Space, I was blown away. The first one, holy smokes. The gameplay is really engaging and fun, and it's also it'll make you poop your pants if you're not careful. It's pretty scary. It's a lot of jump scary, but it's the atmosphere in that game, man. Holy smokes, it's creepy and terrifying sometimes. And of course, you're alone the entire time, so that just adds to the suspense of it. I don't think that's something that I'm ever going to play on this channel. Maybe I will. We'll see. That being said, there's another horror game. It's actually one of the first Xbox 360 games I ever owned. And in fact, I still have somewhere, I think, the copy of Game Informer that first announced it and previewed it. And I remember reading that preview and going, this looks amazing. It's Condemned: Criminal Origins. And I think they made a sequel to it, but it sucked. Don't play the sequel if you try it. But the original Condemned is a thrill, an absolute positive thrill. It's a typical, like, survival horror kind of thing. Well, not really survival. You're not, like... You play an FBI agent and you have a gun. And, well, sometimes you do. There is guns in the game, and there's not zombies or monsters per se. They're mostly just people that you fight, but... you have access to guns, but they're very limited in that they have finite ammunition and you can't pick up more. So whatever's in the magazine when you find the gun is what you get. That being said, the majority of the game focuses on melee combat and you scrounging for random weapons in the world wherever you can find them. So like lead pipes and pieces and like planks of wood or that kind of deal. But the ambience in that is also equally terrifying, and the whole point is you're an FBI agent on the trail of a serial killer trying to hunt them down and find them. And that, oh man, that's a great game. So I know I'm kind of gushing here about other stuff and not talking about the one I'm currently playing. I apologize if that's upsetting you guys. I do like to talk a lot about other things that I'm very passionate about or fond of. And I know I just said I'm not a big fan of horror, but those are two very big exceptions to that rule. And perhaps the most notable exception to that rule is, of course, I am a massive fan of Doom. I played the original Doom on MS-DOS when it came out. I think I was 5 years old. My uncle had it on his computer, and I played the ever-loving snot out of that, and it terrified poor little 5-year-old me. Pretty sure I got nightmares from that game. It was scarred for life, but holy smokes was it ever fun. I still play it from time to time. It's still a lot of fun. I actually own every iteration of Doom that exists. So, for example, I have the original Doom and Doom 2 on my computer. They're slightly modified versions in that I can use my mouse to look instead of the keyboard because that just makes it easier. I don't like having to hold down the control button and arrow keys to strafe side to side. That's annoying. It's still a challenging game, don't get me wrong, but I do own the original versions of those. I actually have Doom 3 and its expansion on Steam. I have the BFG edition, which includes the original versions of 1 and 2. And, of course, I have the new Doom 2016 remake, which is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Probably one of my favorite games at this point, to be completely honest with you guys. I am an absolute mega huge fan of that game. And I know I'm just kind of gushing right now, and I'm sorry if that's annoying you, but oh man, it's so good. I've played through it a couple times, and you know what? That is something I think I will play on this channel. The remade 2016 Doom. It's very fast-paced. It's very enjoyable. A lot of blood and gore. So if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, I would advise you not watch me play that. But if you're into that kind of thing, you're into something more fast-paced and action-packed and thrilly and a little bit creepy at the same time, you have that to look forward to. That'll probably be what I do after I finish this. In fact, I thought about doing it immediately after Metroid to keep up the spooky vibe, but I figured I'd go something in the same vein, but not quite as tense, I guess. Not that game's overly tense. It really isn't. There's just a lot of suspense in Metroid Fusion, I think. Especially if you've never played it before, you're like, wow, this is kind of terrifying. But if it's something you're used to, it kind of loses a lot of its impact. Doom, however, is always scary. Even though I've beaten it so many times, it still manages to find a way to creep me out and terrify me a little bit. But that's half the fun, right? And the nice thing that makes it preferable, I think, to games, in my opinion, like Silent Hill or Fatal Frame or that kind of deal, is that you're armed and you can kill the things that are actively threatening and scaring you rather than just running away from them. So you feel a little more empowered. That's what I think. I think the difference that I prefer when it comes to horror. That's why I like that kind of horror as opposed to the traditional kind where you're just watching in suspense and fear the whole time. In that you don't feel all that vulnerable because you have a loaded gun and you can put lead into the face of things that scare you. That makes it a bit more tolerable, in my opinion. And who is this guy? He senses a dark power within me. He does have a wicked cool looking coat, though. I can't give you my real name, but call me Jay. Are you a criminal? No, I have amnesia, but I know my name is Jay. I was told I was in an accident in 1999. When I woke up in the hospital, I'd forgotten my name and my past, but he knows his name starts with J. Were you born with your dark power? Mr. J, why have you come to this castle? Call me Jay. He is filled with fear when he hears Dracula because of the prophecy. I wonder what prophecy that is he's referring to. Your accident occurred in 1999? Maybe Dracula was involved. I fear you are correct, especially since I have magical powers. Oh, that's ominous. Do go on. Please tell me all about your magical powers. Are you an exorcist? Well, you might say that, but I work for no one but myself. Yeah, see ya. He's the most combat-capable person I've seen in this entire castle so far. So I have no doubt that he'll be okay. His name is Jay. We don't know much more about him than that. What did this say? We were in the dance hall? I just found a really wicked, cool-looking dude who's a magical exorcist in the dance hall. Like, you think you could have found a little more creepifying place to hang out? But what the heck do I know? I'm a random teenager from high school hanging out that when I thought was a shrine, but is actually Dracula's castle. I guess I have no right to talk. More Durgas, my favorite. And here we get double Quetzalcoatl. I love Quetzalcoatl. Just kind of hop around madly. That being said, we will deal with double Quetzalcoatls additionally in the next episode. So, for right now, we're going to stop for the time being, but I'll see you guys in the next episode where we do more monster killing, and I'll do more talking about games that aren't this, probably. Alright, at any rate, I will see you next time. Thank you all very much for joining up until this point. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Till that time, this has been Seraphin. Stay classy, internets.